She is the most famous woman in history. A queen. A goddess. A seductress who brought Rome to its knees. But the real Cleopatra was something far darker than the legend. Behind the beauty and the glamour was a woman who poisoned her own siblings, manipulated the most powerful men in the world, and used every tool at her disposal, including her own body, to hold on to power. This is the cold truth behind the throne of the Nile. The story of Cleopatra is not a love story. It is a story of survival, betrayal, and the darkest schemes of the ancient world. Cleopatra XII was born in 69 BC into the Ptolemaic dynasty, a Greek family that had ruled Egypt for nearly 3 centuries. She was the daughter of Ptolemy XII, a king so despised by his own people that he had been driven into exile. Cleopatra grew up in a world of murder, betrayal, and political chaos. She learned early that power was the only thing that mattered, and that family was just another obstacle to overcome. When her father died in 51 BC, Cleopatra, then just 18, was plunged into a bitter struggle for power with her younger brother Ptolemy XIII. In accordance with Egyptian tradition, the siblings were married, but they hated each other. Civil war broke out. Cleopatra was forced to flee to Roman-controlled Syria. But she was not finished. She was determined to reclaim her throne, and she would do whatever it took. In 48 BC, Julius Caesar arrived in Alexandria. He was the most powerful man in the world, and Cleopatra saw her chance. According to legend, she had herself wrapped in a rug and smuggled into Caesar's quarters. She was 21. He was 52. She offered him an alliance, and her body. Caesar was captivated. He pledged his support, and Cleopatra's brother Ptolemy XIII drowned in the Nile while fleeing Caesar's troops. The throne was hers. Cleopatra gave birth to a son, Caesarion, and claimed he was Caesar's child. She then married her other brother, Ptolemy XIV, but she is believed to have poisoned him shortly after. With Caesar as her ally, Cleopatra ruled Egypt alone, one of the few female monarchs in history to govern without a male co-ruler. But her scheme was far from over. She was playing a game that would soon spiral out of control. After Caesar's assassination in 44 BC, Cleopatra turned her attention to Mark Antony, one of the 3 rulers of Rome. In 41 BC, she sailed to Tarsus on a sumptuous barge, dressed as the goddess Aphrodite. She invested her ocean excursions with carefully chosen costumes, divine associations, expensive textiles and jewels, music, and exotic essences. Antony was enraptured. He followed her back to Alexandria, leaving his Roman wife behind. The scandal would destroy him. Antony and Cleopatra lived in Alexandria in a state of decadent excess. They formed their own society called the Inimitable Livers. Antony had 3 children with Cleopatra. But their affair was not just love, it was politics. Cleopatra needed Antony to protect Egypt from Rome. Antony needed Cleopatra's money and resources. Together, they schemed against Rome. But their schemes would lead to disaster. In 31 BC, the forces of Octavian, Caesar's adopted son, defeated Antony and Cleopatra at the Battle of Actium. Cleopatra's ships fled the battle, and Antony followed her. They retreated to Alexandria. Octavian pursued them. The end was near. Antony received word that Cleopatra was dead. In despair, he stabbed himself. He was carried to Cleopatra and died in her arms. Cleopatra was captured by Octavian. He planned to parade her in his triumph in Rome. She would not be humiliated. On August 30th, 30 BC, Cleopatra barricaded herself in her mausoleum and killed herself. Legend says she used an asp, but the truth is uncertain. Her 17-year-old son Caesarion was executed. Her dynasty was over. Egypt was a province of Rome. The Rome of Augustus transformed Cleopatra from a capable ruler into a monstrous seductress who nearly destroyed Rome. As historian Stacy Schiff writes, the lascivious fury who corrupted Caesar and unmanned Antony was largely an invention of the man who vanquished her, Octavian, and his apologists. But the truth is more complex. Cleopatra was a brilliant politician, a linguist who spoke a dozen languages, and a published author. But she was also ruthless. She poisoned her siblings, seduced the most powerful men in Rome, and sacrificed everything for power. She is a reminder that history is written by the winners. And the winners have never been kind to powerful women.